Friday. I love Fridays. So last week, it was my birthday. Thank you. And now, no songs, please. I'm 52 now. And normally when I say my age, people always react like, wow, no, really? And I did nothing for this, no, not here, it's a bit disappointing. But I did nothing for it. It's because of my mother's genes. My mother is 85 years old and she's from the Philippines. And she's in the nursery now, and she has Parkinson's, and she doesn't really remember me, but she has no wrinkles. She looks really amazing. And as a child, I spent many days alone with my mother, because my father was overseas. He was a sailor, and that's how they met actually. They met in the Philippines when he was on his ship, and they met in a little bar in Manila. And she got pregnant, and he thought, I'm gonna bring this lady back to the Netherlands. So she came back to the Netherlands in a little village in the south of the Netherlands, Etteleur. Nobody knows it. But she was an Etteleur, and she didn't have any friends. And her family-in-law didn't speak English. So she was all the day home with me. And she entertained herself by dressing me up like her doll. And she loved Shirley Temple. Oh, you're too young. You don't know Shirley Temple, right? You do? Yeah. Well, Shirley Temple is a 50s American child star, and she can sing, but what's special about her is her curls. So since I was 3, I had to sleep with curlers. And my mother put makeup on me, and my grandmother made these beautiful dresses with lace and ribbons. And then my mother would transform our living room to a fashion set. She would remove the furniture, put a chair in the middle, 2 plants around it, and then I had to pose. And if I did really well, she would send these pictures to the Philippines and make everyone jealous. And I couldn't dirty myself. I never played with clay or paint. Everything had to be clean. Also, I didn't play outside because my mother was afraid of everything. So I stayed at home with her, and I was her little princess doll. But then the day came that I had to go to primary school. And I still remember it. There I was with my white socks and my beautiful dress with lace and my curls, and my mother would always spray a little perfume on me, Chanel No. 5. And there I was, and I was so shocked. These children, they look like hippies. These children look like little hobo children. No, they look like peasants, honestly. They were wearing overalls, they had stains and holes, and they had green snot under their nose. And sometimes it was dried up. And they had this smell, the smell of old milk. And they were busy, they were pushing each other and pulling each other. And they said the weirdest things. They called me a Turk. And I had no idea what a Turk was. And it was not, I just saw a Turk, but I had no idea what a Turk was. And I was not a normal Turk. No, I was a dirty Turk. And the other day, I suddenly was a Chinese. And I was not a normal Chinese, I was a shitty Chinese. So what was I? But I learned then, from that moment on, I had to make myself invisible. So I was sitting behind in the class, I didn't lift a finger, I was holding my pee all day, and I tried to make myself invisible. I had to dim my light. But there were always remarks, because when I was 12, and I was still wearing the lace dresses and the makeup, they called me a slut. And not a normal slut, no, a Tamil slut, because there were asylum seekers from that were Tamil. And they also called me a sticky rice slut. So all these names, and still, I still get remarks about the looks. And that's because, for example, when I had to go to a school camp, I didn't have walking shoes. I was not allowed to wear a fleece sweater or jogging trousers. If I do that, then my mother would say, "Are you ill? Are you dressed like this?" No, I would be dressed in a dress with ballerinas, and I even brought my heels. And still, this winter I was letting out my dog in a white coat, and it was muddy. And then this woman says, "Oh, you always dress so fancy, letting out your dog." No, it's just an H&M puffer jacket, woman. I'm not even wearing my makeup. But then I got dirty, and I had 2 children, and I got really fat. I got 95 kilos, even more. And then I thought, now people are not gonna find me shallow anymore. And yes, they didn't. People liked me. And I was not threatened anymore to the other mothers in the school. I was like this very nice, sweet mother. I blended in, finally. But then something tragic happened. Then my youngest son, he got leukemia when he was 5. And he had chemo. And my beautiful son, who had black curls, because I married a guy with curls, he was bald. He was unrecognizable. He had a tube through his nose. And when I was pulling him in the wheelchair, everyone looked at us. And nobody dared to say anything. Some people, they crossed the street. And then he got better. And 3 years later, cancer came back. And we lived in a hospital again. And he was in the intensive care. And they told me, "You go and sleep," because I hadn't slept for days. He will be okay. But he wasn't. And he died. And I had no last goodbye. And you might wonder, how do you survive something like this? It was my friend Kiran, a mother who I've met during chemo of our kids. And her son died 5 years before my son. And she came to my house and she said, "Janet, there will be days that you want to die. But always put on your lipstick, wear your favorite dress, and look really good." And that's what I did. And I exaggerated. I lost 25 kilos, I dyed my hair blonde, then I got addicted to making selfies. And when you post 10 selfies a day, you lose friends, believe me. People hate me. But what I want to give to you and tell you, like whatever shit you are in, you broke a nail, or your mother dies, remember, put on your lipstick.
Okay.
Wear whatever you want to fucking wear. And never dim your light. Woo!